Hey everyone, Roger here from Car Experts YouTube channel with Zion. So recently my friend's BMW E90 was having wheel speed sensor faults and a check engine light. Let me show you why. Let me explain real quick how a wheel speed sensor works. This is a Hall sensor and you can see each one of these lines here is a gap. As the axle spins, that's going to identify each segment. This floats with a slight air gap, and it should not be contacting this pickup ring right here. So if you look at this sensor, you can see it's actually worn down right there because it was contacting the rust that's developed from, of course, New England weather. This area right here can raise. It will then rub on the sensor, and then the sensor can't read properly, and you'll get all sorts of weird problems. Now, sometimes you can get away with cleaning up this pickup, which I did on some of the other axles. However, the left front was still reading improperly, plus it had worn. So what happens also is you can get like high spots. So there'll be a high spot where the rust had lifted, and then this will rub constantly and cause a failure. So on that BMW E90, which has this style axle, it's an all-wheel drive car, but these are also installed in the rear axle. So if you had a rear-wheel drive car, you could still end up with the same problem. Then I had to replace this axle and the sensor, and it was good to go. Not all BMW use this setup. They actually use the wheel bearing, and the wheel bearing is what this is going to rest with an air gap up against, and that's going to be your pickup. So if you do have a wheel speed sensor fault and it's not the sensor or the control module, it potentially could be a wheel bearing. Thankfully not an overly common failure on a BMW. Alright, I'll see everyone later. Thanks for watching.